Hello, Dr. Elmer, Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, and today we're talking about dystonia. Dystonia. It's actually a little more common than we would like to think, and it's a spasticity, and sometimes even a movement pattern disorder combined together. But it's an uncontrolled spinal movement or activity of the extremity, and that kind of creeps up after a while, but then you can't control it, and it's pretty difficult thing to deal with. It's the extreme of what we call hyperkinetic disorders, which means there's too much movement. The brain should be inhibiting, and when we boil it down to what are the problems that are going on, I wrote down some of them, many of them. The number one, we're having inhibition dysfunction, which means the indirect loop of the basal ganglia isn't working like it should. It's the gas pedal, or it's the brake pedal instead of the gas pedal. The direct loop is the gas pedal. People with gas pedal problems are more like Parkinsonian problems, ADD as opposed to ADHD, whereas the inhibition problem is more in ADHD, he's bouncing off the walls and that. The visual tactile dysfunction, now it also includes the auditory tactile. When I say tactile, I want you to think of having a map of your world in a grid that literally you can know where you are, not only compared to the world, but also, like let's say I put up my finger and you touch my finger and then touch your nose and go back and forth, and then I say, okay, close your eyes and do it, and you can still do it because you created this map. If you look around the room, you created a map of the room. You can close your eyes. You might even be able to walk around without bumping into stuff, because that map, how accurate it is, allows you to negotiate where things are. That visual tactile and auditory tactile, auditory is you hear me talking and the sounds are bouncing off the walls besides getting my voice direct, and it's giving you a texture that gives you a sense of volume of where you are, you know, and how the environment is. That system is in the top of the brain stem, and when that system goes awry, you wind up with a problem. Maybe you're winding up in a position, head position like this, and as you're in that head position, you can't come out of it because you don't know where things are from a grid point of view. The spinal cord and cortex integration dysfunction. Well, because we don't know where things are from a tactile grid point of view, which is our reflex system, we respond to our world and our inner world from that grid. We also have a problem with inside our spinal cord and brainstem integrating things. That means putting stuff together, crunching numbers. So even if we wanted to move stuff around with utilizing the circuitry in our spinal cord and our brainstem, we can't because it's become dysfunctional, because the input that's coming in is all askew. Our maps are all askew. So, and then I also wrote down somatotopic mapping dysfunction. Where you are in space and where your body is controlled by the sensory system giving you inputs and giving you information. And because part of your world doesn't exist, imagine if I'm in this posture, this whole part of my world outside of me doesn't exist, but also this part of me here that I can't control doesn't exist. It's a lot like having a leg amputated. It's not there. And so the part of the map that would be your leg that's in the parietal lobe goes away because you're not using it. And so all of these things combine together to create this dysfunction of spasticity, or spasticity plus a tremor. And when those kind of things happen, it's very, very difficult to live. It's very difficult to do any normal functions that you would normally do. So hopefully that gets it a little better picture. It's kind of really scary when it happens. Sometimes it happens because of genetic problems, but we'll be discussing it further. So if you have any questions about this, please let us know. Love to do another video or two. We're going to be doing some more on this, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. And remember, we're here when you're ready to take your life back.